Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Medicare training for September 3rd, 2024. We are running a little bit behind. Paul's running a little bit behind. He's popping on right now. But what we're going to talk about today is the things that you need to be doing in the next 30 days to get ready for AEP. There's a lot of things to prepare for. Certifications should be getting close to being done for your carriers. And you should have Medicare Center, Medicare Link up and running. Hopefully by this point, with some of the new ones that have contracted. If you are having issues and you are ready to sell with the carriers, but you're not able to get onto Medicare Center, give me a call or give Paul a call, and we can help with that and walk through. So now I see Paul is now on the call, and he's gonna take it over from here and make sure we know what we need to do for these next 30 days leading up to AEP. So take it away, Paul.
Good morning, everybody. I apologize for my tardiness. I was actually speaking to an agent about one of these topics. And so welcome. Happy Labor Day. It's now after Labor Day. It is the 3rd of September. So we have less than 30 days until we can actually speak with these clients about these plans. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what is it exactly I'm supposed to be doing this month. I know a lot of us are new to this, so we've kind of gotten through AHIP and the contracting. We've kind of talked, hopefully, to some of our clients. We need to kind of get a good flow because, as Skylar and I were speaking earlier this morning, this is an election period business, unlike life insurance, where it's kind of a year-round thing. Many of you all were very busy over Labor Day with your life insurance sales, right? Health insurance, all of those carriers are closed. So it's a very different world. So understanding what it is that you're working with will help you build towards a very successful October. So we're going to kind of go through some of this stuff line by line very quickly to kind of give you an idea of what your focus points are. Hopefully, like I said earlier, you've been doing some appointment setting, getting your book of business not necessarily worked up, but you want to create urgency. We're building up to this election period. I've been sending out a newsletter, went out on September the 1st for my folks. There were a lot of articles and different things put together in there, excuse me, that talked about, hey, this is what we need to be doing as far as growing the urgency. Make sure you've got your medications ready. If any doctors have changed, please feel free to reach out to me. As we've gotten more electronic, we're sending out Calendly invites in those newsletters and things of that nature. People are automatically enrolling into time slots to meet with me as I'm creating that urgency. Okay. So whether you're kind of doing it old school, writing these down in a little daily calendar, I have plenty of agents that do that. One of my most successful agents does it by paper. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever flow works for you, but start setting those appointments, start filling that pipeline like we've talked about in the past. October 1st, I can talk about the plan. I can't make an enrollment, but I can talk about the plans. So October the 1st, if a client calls me today, I would need to make an appointment. Okay, great. October 1st, good for you. Let's meet at 10 a.m. I'll find out what your issues are. I'll go through your needs. I can make a product recommendation. So let's get the scope of appointment done today. Okay. So when I'm ready to do that on October 1st, what do I need to do in September? I need to get my plan reviews done. So these carriers are going to start sending, after you've contracted and certified, you're going to start getting emails from these carriers. Sometimes it's a local broker manager. They may even call you. Okay. When I was a broker manager, I'd get a new list. Hey, these are the people who have contracted with United Healthcare, Humana, whatever the company is this month. Can you reach out to them? Yeah, sure. Let me reach out to these folks, start getting them organized, understanding what it is they need to do. So number one thing I need to do is So I need to understand what it is I'm selling. So I need to watch out for these plan reviews, road shows, kickoffs. Each carrier will call it something different. But if one of these carriers is sending you an invite to a kickoff or to a road show, whether it be virtually or in person in your state, make sure yes, I will go to those things. They don't cost any money. They're typically free to go to. You just have to register. Okay. They will train you on what the plan options are. So you understand what the plan is. Finally, you also need to kind of look at not just the plan reviews themselves, but you've done a lot of contracting. There's a lot of little agent portals and different things of that nature that you need to organize. Me, myself, I organize them on the browser at the top of my browser. Okay. They may be, hey, here are my life all in a folder, but here are my life bookmarks. I'm going to sell a life policy, boom, there they all are. If it's a Medicare policy, boom, those are all there. If I've got a downline, I have my agent recruiting portals in a different bookmark across the top of my screen, but I'm organized. Because unlike life insurance, yeah, sure, you all were busy during Labor Day. Health insurance is a boom. We've got an enrollment period. We got to hit it hard. We got to hit it now. So not only do I have to fill the pipeline and create the urgency with my agent, with my clients, but I also have to get myself organized so that when I hit the ground running on October the 1st, boom, here are the plans. These are the things I can talk to you about. I've got all of my materials organized, so on and so forth. If that's digitally, that's in those portals. Okay. If that's a paper, because that's something else we got to do. If you want to do this paper, like my agent that likes to write all of her appointments down in a big old spiral bound calendar, if she wants to hand out paper to people across the kitchen table and that's the way she wants to do business, she needs to order that material. Because if you own a 7-Eleven and you know that Labor Day weekend is coming, you've already stocked up the ice, you've stocked up the chips and the soda, congratulations, you're ready for Labor Day. Your 7-Eleven is, do I have my sales materials ready and organized? And hey, I got October 1st. Let's go. Put it in gear, get ready to launch. Okay. So make sure that you are growing that organization. I know that organization for an agent is this mind-numbing experience that you don't want to do, right? But make sure that you are doing it, because it makes you more efficient as we go through October, November. That's 60 days, and we add another 7 to the end of AEP, the 1st through the 7th. You got about 70 days to play with there. That's it. Okay. So you've got to hit the ground running. You've got to be ready. You've got to be organized. So making sure that you've got all of that ready. Okay. If you're in an area that needs to have events, there's going to be tons of plan exits all over the country. PDPs will be plan exiting all over the country. There will be plans exiting from some of the major carriers all over the country. Now, some of these are smaller carriers. There may be 500, 600, 700 clients, 1,000 clients, or something along those lines. No, I don't need to create an event for that. But if there's a large concentration of this is a large group of people that are living in a facility or something along those lines, and I'm guessing that a whole bunch of them are going to lose their plan, do I need to set up events in that area and start advertising those events, whether it be virtually, all of those other, that's what I need to start focusing on. Okay. So one, those plan reviews are important. Getting your sales materials organized, but getting your letters organized, your events organized, and having all of those little envelopes stacked and ready to go. For, hey, I got to mail this group of people this information. These people were on med sups and PDPs. They need, this stack of people needs this information, right? These people are on plans that are exiting. These people need this stack of information. I need all of that ready to go, because on October the 1st or now, that needs to go. Now, don't mail it all at once, because if all these people start calling you, you can't handle that. So stagger it. And we'll send 50 envelopes this week, 50 envelopes next week. Even if it's digital mailers, like I said, I sent out a newsletter on October or September the 1st. This is the information that you guys need to. Now I've got it all stacked up so it's ready to go to the right people. Okay, so being organized is extremely important. I know it's mind numbing. I know nobody wants to do it, but when you're ready to actually excel in a small window of time, you got to pull the rubber band back. Did you have something to add, Skylar?
Well, I was just wondering for agents that already have clients in place, um, that sounds good. But what about the new agents that are just getting started in Medicare? Can they send those types of mailers out to, let's say, their final expense clients?
Absolutely.
Introduction. Hey, I'm now in the Medicare space. And I would suggest even with your picture on it, so they remember who you are. Um, and now I'm in the Medicare space, and I can help you with this.
Yes. One of my agents here locally, brand new to the space of Medicare and even insurance sales at all. But she has a vast background working in hospice and long-term care. So she has a network of people that she can reach out to. So some of the things we've been working on over the last month or so is, yes, here's a business card. These are the things that you now do for a living, with her face on it. Kind of, and I told her, I was like this is kind of like a real estate business, right? The face is kind of the thing. I know some Medicare agents that have their face on magnets on their cars, right? Some have their bus stations. If it's an urban population, here I have an ad and my face is on the bench at the bus station, right? Depending on what market and what territory you're working in, how you want to focus on your target audience, there's plenty of opportunities. So make sure that, yes, you're building up that presence, like we kind of talked about in some other meetings, building up your marketing presence and doing all of that stuff on social media, on the ground, through grassroots, whatever, tying it back to some of the meetings we had in the past weeks. Those types of things build that knowledge and that front of mind thought process. So yes, absolutely, Skylar, that's a fabulous question. And as you
So
grow,
you mentioned something just there that maybe some of the newer agents may not understand. Grassroots. Can you explain a little bit more on grassroots and see what is entailed with that side of things?
Sure. I often tell people and like I said, I have a marketing degree, but I tell people there's two types of marketing, right? There's expensive marketing and there's slow marketing. I can market myself for pennies on the dollar, right? But that takes a long time. It's a slow burn. Everybody knows who McDonald's is, right? But McDonald's, they have a jingle that everybody knows. It's on television. They want to be front of mind, right? That's what marketing is. So this logo is on the back of my truck, and that's slow marketing, right? I spent $300 to slap that logo on the back of my truck. I live in a small town. I drive all over the place. I drop my kid off at school, contact information, just like the agent that puts the magnet on the side of their car, right? And some carriers, I don't want to mention any particular, but some carriers that sell DSNP will give you free marketing material such as magnets for your car that can have your information on it. Do you have these types of cards? Do you want to call me? Right. That's slow marketing. Pennies on the dollar, doesn't cost very much. It just takes a long time to do. Okay. Then there's fast marketing. I bought a lead. Yay. That's more expensive. Okay. Somewhere in the middle is grassroots marketing. Grassroots marketing is, hey, I'm going out into the field. I'm finding farmers markets or other events that are already happening where seniors or folks that are Medicare eligible may go. And so if they're going to these locations and I have met with the proper people, right? I got an email from an agent this morning. Hey, the city is asking for general liability insurance for $1 million because I want to do an event. Okay. How do I deal with that? Register your event with the carrier. The carrier carries general liability insurance and have them put the city's name for one day on their general liability insurance. Okay. So that doesn't cost you really much anything. It may cost you the event fee to have a stand there at a health fair or whatever, but that's grassroots marketing, is going out into the field, grassroots, walking around, knocking on, now you can't knock on doors, right? I was about to say it, but I was like, nope, oops.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. But if it's a, hey, I realize that there's a planned exit and this building is probably going to be hit by this planned exit, and I want to start doing bingo events and ice cream socials and things to make myself front of mind in the community, I can do those in August, well, now September, October, and build up to people having appointments with me in November. That's grassroots marketing. So yeah, you want to build that field presence, and you want to build that field marketing. You want to build that social media presence, if it's on Facebook or whatever type of social media you want to use. That way you are getting more and more people that are understanding that this is what I do for a living. I've seen some of the agents that have contracted with FFL Health that have followed me on Facebook and vice versa. I've seen them, hey, this is now what I do for a living. Do you have any questions? They're posting relevant news articles onto their feeds, of their business feeds and things of that nature. So they're doing that, building that knowledge in that front of mind, so people will be comfortable making that phone call in October if they haven't already made that phone call. Because if you have a book of business, whether it's final expense or whatever, you're more than welcome to call them directly. Hey, this is what I do, so on and so forth. But you need to also build that audience, and you need to build that since it's now, we're also going to be fighting politics. It's an election year, right? So while we're building our field presence, everybody else is building their field presence as well on the political sides of this gambit. Okay. So it's going to be a very noisy year. So how do we break through? Well, some of that breakthrough is now, before October gets here. Because with this AEP, with the politics and all of that other stuff, if you're just trying to break through and make a phone call out of the clear blue sky because I bought a lead in Lead Center, I think that's what you were talking about when I popped on, Skylar. If I bought a lead on Lead Center, it's completely compliant for me to do, right? But there's also going to be 27 phone calls from politicians that same day. So how do I break through and make a difference? Okay. So having a strategy of, I'll hit them with a phone call, then a text message, and then a phone call, that's completely legal. Right. Now you may want to back off from them for a few days after you've hit them 3 times in one day. Right. But that double hit or triple hit on a phone call or a contact in 2 different methods is going to increase the likelihood that the person's going to pick up the phone call. Right. So having that kind of information and understanding of, this is the field that I am trying to work in, whether that be I'm buying leads or whether I have a book of business to call into or whatever that may be, you need to understand and strategize that now and grow that field presence. And some of that growing that field presence is just simply adding educational seminars. Okay. Generally speaking, that won't cost you much of anything. Okay. An example that I've done here locally is I go to my local library. Hey, I'd like to do an educational seminar. Can I do that? Oh, well, that's a community service. You can't sell in the library, but you can do an educational seminar. That doesn't cost me anything in a lot of cases, as long as I'm a member of the library. Well, ding, 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 I am. I'm a local resident. Right. So I drive my happy little truck around. I put my logos up. I take flyers out to the neighborhood restaurants where the seniors meet. Right. I put up flyers in the library. I put up a newsletter article in the local newspaper or on Facebook or whatever, and I target that zip code. Do you have questions about Medicare, agenda, Medicare education seminar, so on and so forth? Right. Depending on how deep I want to go, that may not cost me much of anything. But if I strategize and I build out a marketing strategy for this education seminar and then do an educational, I may get 7, 8, 10 people to attend me explaining the A, B, C's, and D's of Medicare. Now, the greatest news is if I have a carrier contract, the national carriers create these types of presentations. So I can go into those organized agent portals. Remember, I took all of my time to organize my agent portal. Go into my organized agent portal. I want to pull out a United Healthcare educational seminar. I can download that for free. It doesn't cost me anything to download a completely compliant educational seminar from the carriers. So if I have a United Healthcare contract or Humana contract or something like that, I can go into that corresponding agent portal and find those marketing materials. Download those, print those, do whatever I need to do. I can throw them up on a screen at the library with an HDMI cable. Costs me nothing, right? And now I'm presenting to a group about education on educating them on Medicare. That increases my market presence, right? And builds that trust that I'm not just somebody here to sell you. I'm here to educate you, give you your options, right? Build that trust that we've been talking about in all of these other meetings. Now's the time when the rubber hits the road. So I know y'all just got through a crazy Labor Day sell, right? I was trying to relax as much as I possibly could so that I could turn around and go, I need to push as hard as I can push from now until December 7th. That was my last hurrah with my family, so to speak. Because now it's going to be all Medicare all the time. And then, like I said, if you're a person that wants to do your sales, whether they be digitally at the kitchen table with paper or whatever, the last thing you need to do in September is organize your sales materials, right? Okay, I've organized all of these portals, whether they be life portals, Medicare portals, ACA portals. I'm selling healthcare, blah, 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 blah. I've got my agent portals organized. I need to understand where my sales materials are. Sometimes I have to download those things depending if you're using Medicare Center, for instance, like Skylar was talking about at the beginning. Sunfire Matrix has those built into it. You will not be able to see them until October the 1st. But Sunfire Matrix has your sales materials in there. So if you want to be digital, that's where it's going to be. So understand this is how I'm going to get myself organized, whether it be via paper or via digital. Okay. So if you're going to use Medicare Center and I need sales materials, where am I going to get my summary of benefits? On October the 1st, I'll click onto my Sunfire Matrix. Humana summary of benefit will be right there. Okay. So understand and organize not just your clients. I said at the beginning, we want to build that urgency. I call it a list of 50. Has a nice little jingle to it. I want 50 clients that are ready, locked and loaded. They want to buy from me in October. So I can start having 50 appointments starting October the 1st. I can't take the application until the 15th. But if I've got this person ready on digital, I can shoot them an email or a text. They can sign it virtually. And now how many applications do I actually put in on October the 15th? Because I filled up my pipeline from the 1st through the 14th with lots of appointments. I did my needs analysis. I just didn't make the sale. But we figured out this is the plan this person wants to buy. This is the plan 2 for person 2, plan 3 for person 3, so on and so forth. I organize myself. Then I become an efficient bullet train. I got 40 applications done on October the 15th. My list of 50 is nearly complete, and it's only the first day of selling. But it's about being organized. So think about this. You've got to do your book of business. You organize that book of business. We've talked about separating out. These are the PDPs and the MedSups and the MAs and so on and so forth. Trying to tie all of these other meetings together now. Okay. I talked about all of this. This is now where we need to rubber hit the road. It's September. So now I need these appointments broken down into these are the people that I'm meeting in October. Okay. I need to finalize my plan reviews. Going to those road shows, those kickoffs, all of that other stuff. Number 3, organize my portals, agent selling systems, how I keep myself organized. Some of you all on Microsoft use OneNote. Google uses Keep. I don't know what you Apple people use, but however you want to get yourself organized, start understanding you want to organize it this way. Me personally, I use Google Keep. As I do my certifications, I start putting that information in Google Keep. As I go to the roadshow, I open up Google Keep. on my cell phone, on my laptop, whatever, and I'm taking notes in that folder while I'm at the road show. I'm putting my first link or first look links in Google Keep, right? I'm getting all of this stuff organized so that I don't care what carrier it is. You ask me about a carrier, bam, there's the information. Because I need to be a bullet train. I need to be super efficient come October. So that's why I'm going to do all of this really mind-numbing, boring stuff throughout September. Okay. So we did all of that.
You mentioned something there, Paul, about first looks, and that was kind of something that was popping up in my head, especially in the areas that you're selling, but your local areas too. Make sure you know and you see these first looks, because there's like Paul said on the outset, there's a bunch of new plans. There's plans exiting, and there's plans coming in. So make sure you're opening up these carriers' first looks, and then have them in an area like Paul said, so you can quickly get to them. So when you're talking with somebody face to face or over the phone or whatever it is, you can quickly get to them.
A prime example of that, Skylar, is just to use the state of Virginia as an example. United Healthcare, bigger carrier, right? Not the largest carrier in this particular state, but the largest carrier in the country. In the state of Virginia, had 11 plans in 2024 for the whole state. It's either 35 or 36 in 2025 based off of the first look. There's a whole lot of new.
Yep.
And there's all kinds of different things going on. So, yes, that may seem overwhelming, but looking at that information, digesting it a little bit at a time, and then going to this meeting. Like I said, the carriers are going to shoot you an email. The broker managers are going to shoot you an email. Come to my meeting, meet me. You need to do those things, because also this agent that we were talking about with the business card, get her out into the field. Not only does she have the long-term care presence, but she speaks the languages of doctors. So have her work with the broker manager. The broker manager has doctor relationships that they can key in and say, hey, you want to do some grassroots marketing? Let's do it with a provider office in certain areas of the state. Okay. So depending on what the opportunity is, that's what we need to do. But understanding the field that we're driving towards. Okay. And understanding, because, hey, if Aetna or Humana, some of the bigger carriers that are announcing big plan exits, are pulling out of this state, there could be tens of thousands of quote unquote orphans come January that are going to be looking for new plans. So that's opportunity for you to pick up low hanging fruit. Okay. So make sure that you're doing these things. So we're organizing our book. We're organizing our plans with those kickoffs and plan reviews and all of those other things. We've organized our selling systems and our organized Google Keeps and all of that. We've got our event flyers, our letters to our clients, all of that stuff organized, locked, loaded, ready to go. Like I said, don't mail it all at once, because if they all start calling you the same week, you can't handle that. This goes out on October the 1st. This goes out October the 15th. This goes out September the 3rd, right? Whatever date you need to mail this stuff out, make sure you've gotten it organized. So this is the stop number, 4 for September? Increase that field presence digitally, locally, doing the educational seminars, all of those other things, and organize your sales materials. If that's in Medicare Center, hey, easy button. That's pretty much done. If you don't want to use Medicare Center, understand where you're writing applications. Okay. If you're still behind on getting your ancillary product contracts done, whether that's hospital indemnity or whatever that may be, to write these other products, make sure you've gotten those done and you know where to write those things as well. You need to be organized. You need to be ready. Boom, bullet train, I'm gone. October the 1st is ready time, go. Any questions that I can answer for anybody?
Yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them into the chat. If not, if we don't get any in the next 30 seconds or so, Paul, you've done a fantastic job today. Thank you for your expertise.
No problem. I'm sorry I don't have pretty slides this week. With Labor Day and all of the other craziness going on, I may not be quite as smooth over the next few weeks, being quite as organized. But I promise I'm going to try my best to get you all to October looking good. I
We'll let you slide this time, Paul.
appreciate that. Thank you.
And the pun was intended.
One time.
So,
But
okay,
yeah, make
friends.
sure you're creating that urgency with your clients. Get them lined up. Like I said, I've probably got myself, and I don't sell a whole lot. I probably got myself about 10 or 11 appointments already between the 1st and the 15th of October. Of there's people that are planning exiting or whatever that I know I need. I can't tell them anything, but hey, I'm calling these people up right now. Can you please get in touch with me? I need to have an appointment with you in October. We need to talk about your plan, so on and so. Creating that urgency, that list of 50, build that up. Once you've gotten that pipeline built up of people that you're ready to speak to, final expense clients, Medicare supplement, PDPs, like term life insurance clients for that matter, anything it could be. Once you've got that list of 50 built up, you will have a successful AEP.
Absolutely. Okay, Paul, it doesn't look like we have any questions, so we're going to get off here. And just remember, tell all your friends if they want to get into the Medicare space, this is where to do it. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.